So I went to the cinema and watched a new Dinosaur movie, and I finally got the answer to the question I swear I was asking myself. What happens if you drop a candy wrapper in a high-security genetics lab? Apparently a full-blown disaster. The movie starts in the 90s at the genetics facility where, of course, they're modifying dinosaurs. It's a new movie, so apparently they need a new dinosaur. Fine. There's this one guy, an absolute genius, eating a candy bar while working in a secure lab where everyone else is sealed off in the protective suits. He drops the wrapper, it gets sucked into a vent, and somehow it triggers a total security failure. This leads to the release of what is supposed to be the most dangerous mutant yet. It looks like a crossbreed between Xenomorph and Godzilla. And yes, I shit you not, the entire facility gets compromised because some idiot dropped a candy wrapper. Anyway, after that dumb scene, the movie states that all dinosaurs on the planet are dying, because Earth's atmosphere no longer supports dinosaur life, except on a few islands near the equator. It didn't bother dinosaurs before, but now the movie says it does. Okay. Then we meet a corporate guy, which we can only assume that he will be a bad guy, sitting in the traffic on his way to meet Scarlett Johansson. She's playing a special ops mercenary woman, basically just a Black Widow, but this isn't Marvel, so you know. The corporate guy tells her he works for a pharmaceutical company and offers her $10 million to go to the islands where the biggest dinosaurs live and extract blood from Mosasaurus, Titanosaurs, and this thing. We'll call it Flying Dinosaur. The reason? The company wants to use the blood to make heart disease medication, because apparently 20% of world's population is or will be affected by heart problems. Just keep that in mind for later. Scarlett Johansson agrees to the deal because $10 million, after some negotiations $20 million, is apparently enough to risk getting eaten alive. Then they go to visit some PhD guy who used to study under Dr. Grant, so obviously he knows dinosaurs. He explains that the pharmaceutical company wants blood from the biggest dinosaurs because their lifespans are the longest. Sure, he doesn't care about the money, lucky, and agrees to come along just so he can see some dinosaurs in the wild. Scarlett brings corporate guy and the PhD guy to her friend Mahershala Ali, who owns a boat. They invite few more friends along, all clearly there just to fill the body bag, since none of them have enough star power to make it past the halfway point. The next thing we know, they're all on the boat heading to the island. And then the screenwriters decide that this movie needs what I can only call the unnecessary family that prolongs the movie. It's a father, his 2 daughters, and 1 daughter's boyfriend, sailing through quarantine zone of the ocean. Why? Because the movie needs some drama, and it needs kids. Every Jurassic Park World movie has kids, and this one apparently needs them too. Also, baby dinosaurs and kids reacting to baby dinosaurs. Anyway, their ship gets flipped over by Mosasaurus, but they've got radio, so they call Mahershala Ali for help, and he decides to help them. For some reason, the special ops team doesn't have time to take unnecessary family that prolongs the movie to the nearest port. Instead, they tell them there's a village on the island, so they'll just bring the unnecessary family that prolongs the movie along and drop them there. Sure, why not? So the family stays on the boat while the special ops team goes to get Mosasaurus' blood sample. They succeed, but then the Mosasaurus wrecks Mahershala Ali's ship. During that mess, the corporate guy lets one of the daughters from the unnecessary family that prolongs the movie fall off the boat, just so we know he's evil. The rest of the unnecessary family that prolongs the movie then decides to jump off the boat, and that's when they split off from special ops team. Don't worry, the unnecessary family that prolongs the movie follows some conveniently placed geothermal pipes to the village. On the way, they run into a few dinosaurs. There are some half-hearted scary moments, a bit of comedy, and none of it really matters. Eventually, they make it to the village and meet back up with Special Ops team. Meanwhile, the Special Ops team crashes the boat on the beach. 2 characters without enough star power to survive gets killed off, and the rest of the group moves on. Then we get a scene in high grass, just like in the other movie. But here's the twist. Normally people with low billing die in the grass. This time, they don't. Instead, Titanosaurs with incredibly high stealth score in their stats rise up out of the grass like they were in stealth mode. No one noticed them, even though their toes are about a meter high. That's 3 feet for the Imperials, which is roughly the same height as the grass. Anyway, they get a blood sample, nobody dies, Titanosaurs are herbivores, and then they're off to get the last one. The PhD guy decides that for the last sample, instead of finding an adult flying dinosaur, they'll just take the blood from one of the eggs. Fair enough. So they suddenly appear on top of the cliff. Don't ask how. And then they rappel down the side into what looks like an Aztec temple carved into a rock face. This is where the flying dinosaur made its nest apparently. You'd think the ancient builders might have added, I don't know, a staircase or back door so people don't have to dangle off the cliff to get in. Don't think about it too hard. Scarlett Johansson and the PhD guy rappel down into the temple, find the eggs and extract the blood. From multiple eggs, I hope, because the tube they used looked about the same size as the egg itself, and the PhD guy swore it wouldn't harm the unhatched dinosaurs. Just as they finish, Mommy Dinosaur comes back, there's some action, one more guy without enough star power dies, which is a shame because I liked him, he had a beard like mine. The PhD guy falls off the cliff, but luckily some trees and water break his fall. He's totally fine. Scarlett rappels down like it's no big deal, while Corporate Guy and Mahershala Ali casually take the stairs that were apparently there the whole time. They get back to the village and regroup with unnecessary family that prolongs the movie. The daughter is pissed at the corporate guy for letting her fall off the boat. Fair enough. So to really drive the point home that he's evil, he pulls out a pistol. Then they all get attacked by more dinosaurs. And eventually, the alien Godzilla hybrid shows up for the big finale. The corporate guy gets eaten and the rest escape on the boat with blood samples. And a baby dinosaur. Because the young daughter decided to adopt one. One thing about the movie, it tries to shove some moral dilemma about whether they should give the samples to the corporate guy. The PhD guy says if he brings them back, 99.9% of people won't be able to afford the treatment. The other option is to open source it, so everyone can have it. It's dumb. If 20% of the world population has heart disease, that's 1.6 billion people. If you sell the treatment for $100, that's $160 billion. I'm pretty sure that there's a pharmaceutical company out there that would gladly pay Scarlett Johansson, sell the cure for $100 or $200 and still make a killing. The movie sucks. Mahershala Ali does his best, but that's about it. The kids will love dinosaurs, especially the baby one and the oversized alien Godzilla thing. And for dads, Scarlett Johansson looks great.